Love the number 8.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my world. This is Sandra Alexa here, and I have the inspirational Lisa Bradley. Is it Bradley?
Bradley.
Bradley.
Good
And
morning.
and what we're going to do is, of course, I have the launch of my new book, Awakening to Your World. Now, what I decided to do, because it's about the soul, awakening to your soul, and we need true healers. And so I collected the healers that I felt were really good, and I put them in the back of the book, and it's under contacts, coaches, and healers. And so I am now sharing it so everybody can get a hold of Lisa. And I do have to say I'm very excited because the new book is in audio. They finished it. I'm not sure when it will be on Amazon. But so Lisa, this isn't about me. This is about you. You are a beautiful, beautiful soul, and I want you to tell them everything about you, what the name of your place is, what the new thing you're doing. And so now I'm going to be quiet. But what I do want to say is there is a website, mypersonalmuse.com, and it's going to be on the YouTube, and it would be really nice if you would share or whatever. And I want you to make sure and check out this video of Lisa, and I'm putting it on Facebook, Lisa. And when I put it on Facebook, I share it with everybody I know. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
It's up to you now. Let's do it.
Yes. Hi, I'm Lisa Bradley. I'm from Smithers, BC. Been living here 23 years. I was born in Edmonton, Alberta. Absolutely love the mountains. I couldn't go back to the city if I wanted to. It's peaceful here. I've owned Mystic Moon Holistic Healing since 2016. So I've been servicing clients in Smithers around the world. You don't have to be sitting with me in order for me to facilitate witness a healing for you. There's many different ways that you can work with me. Whether in person, we can do body work and work with emotions in the body, help release and move through those. We can do reflexology. That's a wonderful way to help work through some emotions that are held within the body. I help people through their grief. I work through mediumship to help bring messages from loved ones, which is very powerful. As we know, moving through grief is different for everybody, but what we all have in common is we're all connected, right? So it helps us feel like we're not alone when we're going through that, through the grief. My sister and I are going to be opening up a spa wellness center here in Smithers, and it's going to be just a peaceful, sacred space for women to come and be themselves. We'll witness healing within them, transformation, inspiration. I'm trained in a few different modalities, so I kind of incorporate them all within sessions. So you come to me and I read your energy. I can see within the body emotions that are held there. And whether it's through breath work or moving energy, we can really see transformation. It's about remembering everything that you are. Oftentimes as humans, we're stuck in everything that's wrong with us. And so when you come to see me, we are awakening that light within you and bringing forward the power that you are, the remembrance of your light, and really anchoring gifts, from past lives, bringing them forward into this life.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So Lisa, if something happens, like I have a real hip thing, and I've
Mhm.
tried working with different people with craniosacral, with
Mhm.
ancestral, with different things. And so, but what I'm thinking is that, so yes, I can have a hip operation. They want me to, but doesn't that doesn't heal the emotional part. And so
Right.
that's why I'm not having it. And I've been to here because I'm in medicine at, I've had to have, but I can get in with one of the best hip doctors in Calgary, but there's a long wait. Okay.
Right.
But in the meantime, it's like I got a message from spirit saying there has been this time that are not doing it because it's almost like I need to be able to go within and do more work on my emotional self. Could that be true?
That's correct. So typically with so if you were, or even now I could say, what aren't you moving forward with? What decision aren't you following through with? Is it the left hip
It's
that's giving you
it's the right hip,
right hip?
right,
So it could be in regards to a certain relationship.
right,
I'm leaning more towards like a male in your
right.
life, a conversation, a decision that you're kind of being wishy-washy about, stuck in the mud. So once you can make that and move forward and have that conversation, you might experience some release there.
Well, the interesting thing is the girls, my girls, they're young girls, and
Hmm.
they got me for Christmas about 2 years ago a reading with a man in the States that they had met in Sedona. And we
Oh,
thought this was interesting. I think Cindy had sent, she used him too. But anyway, so we did a Zoom, and that's why I know the healing can be on the Zoom. Okay. And actually, my hip was pretty good until then. And it was like all of a sudden, he took me through this thing, and I can see myself. I'm on a horse. I'm actually seeing it. I'm on a horse and I'm riding. And he said to me right away, he could see what I was seeing. Okay, which is very fascinating. And he goes, "Where are you riding?" And I went, "I'm not riding, I'm running." So I was riding this horse really fast. Now, this is really weird. I'm riding the horse really fast. Well, the high mountains in BC, I always equate when I come around those corners, there's that big wood mountain. I came around the corner and the horse couldn't make it. And the horse died. And I was
okay.
crippled from it.
Hmm.
Isn't that weird? And that is the last thing. And so I keep thinking there's something there. And then I took a really bad fall last year. But to me, it's really important. And I do have to say this, and people sometimes get offended, and I don't want anybody to be offended. Mind you, I don't care if they are, it just
No.
because the bottom line is everybody goes and takes a course. Okay, I'm going to be this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But that doesn't mean they're gifted in it. Do you understand
No.
what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah.
And so I can only go back to maybe 30 years ago. This woman said, "I'm going to become the best nail person." Remember, they used to put those gel nails on in that.
Yeah.
And so she said to me, "What?" And I said, "You can do it, but you have to practice." So when you practice, make sure that you're getting your skill because, of course, I'm in the trades. So everything is for every theory. We have a practical application. So we have to work to be really good at it. Okay. And so I said, "But I would suggest you charge what it would cost, and then you increase, because it's like anything. It's like a baby. It takes time to walk. We know everybody's going to walk, but not everybody's going to walk the path of a specific healing or that." And so maybe about 6 months after that, she phoned me and she goes, "I'm really mad." She said, "They want their money back." I go, "Well, what were you charging them?" Well, and at that time, you know what she was charging them? Like, this is 20 years ago, $60. I go, "What?"
Oh.
I said, you give them all that money back. And I said, "And now what you need to do is you need to practice it to see if that's for you. Because I believe you are a healer. Now, there's lots of people that classify themselves as a healer, but they're not. And so part of the self-discovery process with the astrology and that type of thing, I can see where they're supposed to go. And you knew, and you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. So that's why you're doing really well. You and your sister have now come together. And of course, you tell me what sign she is. Both of you are incredible healers. And
Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
that's just it.
And it's just, helping people through whatever, like I say, helping you glow through what you're going through.
I like that.
Because, yes, because we get so caught up in everything. Like I said, that's wrong. We need to remember and bring forward everything that's right with us. Call
Right.
those virtues forward from, other times and places to empower us, to propel us to be able to go through whatever it is, right?
So then how are we going to release what is stuck in us? Because I guess that's it. It's, to me, this is what I'm learning at this stage. Is
Right.
it's like, so there's something stuck. And so then it's like all I'm doing is I'm not getting rid of the stuff. I'm just trying to do stuff on top of it. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Right. So, it's tuning within your body and asking, where is this particular feeling in my body? And you ask what it's, serving you. What is the lesson here? If it's anxiety that comes up, if it's fear, just having a look at that and closing your eyes and having just taking a deep breath, hand on your heart, and opening up that space to release it, because we get so caught up in our mind with the story. But energy, the mind doesn't need to be satisfied for the energy to be moved, right?
Okay.
And opening up different pathways of being. And, we're in constant creation mode. So do some breath work. Let's do some emotional release to be able to see a different way, right?
Right, because somebody said to me the other day, they're really good, because I'm forever learning. And every
Yeah.
day
Well,
I
we
learn.
all are, right? We don't have
Yeah.
all the answers.
No, and because we're going through such a shift in consciousness, especially moving into the Pluto into the Aquarian now, because Pluto's about transformation. Pluto is your ruling planet day. And so, but it's now in Aquarius. So now, what is the difference when Pluto was in Capricorn to Pluto into Aquarius? What is the difference in the transformation and the ascension process and all of that kind of thing? Okay. And it's like, and so it was funny. Somebody said to me the other day, it's like, you spend a lot of time in your mind. And I went, I think I do. And yet I've met people and they open my heart, which is very interesting. But I've never been able to say it because that's the throat chakra. Okay. And so it's like, oh my God, I really can say my feelings. Does that make sense? Yeah. And so sometimes that's just a big thing that we're not connected to the feeling. We're more
Right.
connected to the head about it. Okay.
Well, we get caught up in our mind. We forget that we have arms and legs and a stomach and feet, and we're constantly caught up in the loop in our mind. But there's a whole other, there's magic all around us at any given time, right? It could be finding a dime on the ground. It could be looking at the way the dew is sparkling
And
through the
feathers
trees,
and
right?
little
And this is
feathers.
where we get caught up in our mind, but it's like, hey, wait a sec. I need to connect with the energy around me, and then that helps us with the energy within.
But yeah, for me now, it's like, okay, I need to connect with the emotional energy because that's where the fear can come up, the sadness can come up, all of the different things that can come up, because that to me is what I see it now. It's actually, I can see it. It's kind of like a locked, like, a ball of knitting. You know how
Yes.
it comes like it's all knitted and it has the different strings and everything. And so it doesn't matter how many, because especially with my hip, I had a car accident in 2020. Okay. Wasn't my fault. 42 different physiotherapy treatments, 42. Every one, it was like the psoas, it was the femoral nerve, it was this,
Yeah.
it was that. And so it's funny because I pack it. I've got a file folder about this high. So any kind of person that I go to for a treatment, I went, do you want to see what this is? And I'm searching too. And it's like, and it's really funny. The bestest lady I just met, okay, and it was a reflexologist told me
Oh,
about her,
nice.
okay, which was fascinating. And she said, you know, you need to see this lady. I went, okay, she's with spinal bit. So I find her and I can't drive because I'm not used to driving that much in here. So I take a cab because so I go up, she's by the hospital. So I go in and she looks at me and she goes, yeah, sure, you kind of need a hip operation, but we can do stuff. Just looking at me. Okay. So she goes, get down, and she goes, after the third one, she said, you're not coming back to me anymore. I went, really? She goes, no, there's nothing I can do. So she said, I showed you 4 exercises. You do those 3 times a day. She said, yes, I can tell you when I do, because I said, do that special one. It feels good. That was on femoral nerve. Okay. Then it could be on the hamstrings that are too tight. But I so appreciated her because she said after 3, she said, and guess what? All those pieces of paper that I photocopied on you, I'm going to get rid of them. That's what she said. I'm going to get rid of them. And you go. And she said,
Yes.
3 times a day, you have to do these exercises. So then I went to another person, which I had gone to, and I said to him, I'm tired because I don't want you to put my light on me. I don't want no light. If I'm going to come here, I want you to do something. And he laughed. And I said, you need to meet my friend that I just come. And he goes, well, what did she say? And this man is brilliant. He worked with Dr. Stephen Ong. He was teacher. He was at the U of A. He was a teacher. Sometimes we forget. And so I told him, and he goes, okay, I'm going to do a treatment. He goes, Divine, what's happening? And then you know what he said to me? I only need to see you 3 times too. Isn't that something? But it's like, who locked it into me was myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
We're our own worst enemy.
right. And a lot of times, if you have a fairly strong persona like I do, it's really hard for somebody to try and tell me the truth. I try to listen as best I can. But if something comes up that's like, you know that, Lisa, because you've got that sensitivity, it's like, I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't want to debate and argue with someone. So
No.
now you can do online, you can do Zoom work.
Yeah, I could do over the phone. I don't need to see the person's, I don't need to see them to read their energy or tune into their body.
I love that.
Yeah, so I can do it over the phone. And actually I prefer over the phone. Just because I just, everything comes to me. All the clairs, I can work with all the clairs.
Well, you know
So,
what I'm doing? I'm watching your eyes.
oh,
You know why your eyes fascinate me? Because once you get into that, you look up all the time.
oh,
You probably don't even know it when you watch
no.
the video, you'll see it. But the bottom line is seeing the picture, having the person or having the Zoom can be something that clouds the other because I believe that you go straight to the soul.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I feel that. Yeah.
so you don't need anything. And so now you're doing the pure soul work. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So over the phone, I prefer, in person, of course, there's lots of different ways that we can connect.
Oh yeah, but the interesting thing is you do the reflexology, which is brilliant. Okay.
Yeah, so I do the reflexology and I also do emotional release body work. Sometimes people prefer a more hands-on approach, as opposed to just like talk therapy. So anyone who's local can come and see me for that
Oh
too.
yeah, and somebody can even come and see you. They can fly, go and visit you wherever you are if they want their healing. Do you know
Yeah.
years and years ago when Mexico was the place to go? Okay.
Yes.
Because of course Canadian, and it was always the people that were kind of different.
Yeah.
Okay, that would go down, and they would have all these hands-on healing and that type of thing. Hey, and they would fly down there strictly for their healing.
Yeah.
That was it.
It's
And I
amazing.
think it's amazing because now we're into healing. As far as I'm concerned, and I gotta throw this in. People get upset with me. It's like, oh, whoa, whoa. I go, anyway, I knew that what was going to happen was that we were going to have to see the truth about our
Mhm.
medical system. Number one, that's all I'm going
Yeah.
to say. We would
Yeah.
have to see the truth of it and why it was there. It's like greed, money, control, that type of thing. Okay, and why did they do what they do? Because we are moving into the shift in consciousness, is when Pluto is in Aquarian. What are we doing? We're going into the healing. We're going into actually healing. We're going into the ancestral, how did the people heal? The tribes people and that type of thing. Okay, that's why we got the tuning forks, we got the music, we got everything. And it's somebody said to me one time, because I was told I'd be in a wheelchair. Well, obviously I'm not. Okay. And it was like, doctor, heal yourself. But you have to be, I think, with the person that becomes it's like, how can I put it? It's like when you touch me, you would open a key and you would open, it's like what do you call them? The Chinese medicine, it's like the energy pathways.
Oh, meridians?
The meridians.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the energy is stuck there. Is it not true?
Yes, I work with meridians as well. Definitely that's a big part of um being, having beliefs held in certain systems of the body, having meridians blocked. Yeah, it's fascinating. The human body's fascinating.
Right. Well, it's really fascinating when I say something like that, because that takes you directly to where you're comfortable, that you're seeing it. Your eyes went right up.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
that's very powerful, because to me, that's where you don't have to be looking at somebody, because you're looking, Dr. Ong used to say, I'm looking through them, looking through
Yes,
them. You're actually with the physical, with the emotional, with the spiritual, and with the mental. It's all connected.
it is. Yep, it is.
Okay, so anything else you want to share with them, Lisa? Just tell them, you could tell them about you did, about your new
Yes.
happy.
Get Sandra's book, Awakening to the
Oh,
Soul.
yeah, you gotta get that.
It's a great, great book.
And I'm all excited about your new business that you're
Thank
opening.
you. We'll send some, I'll be making posts about the progress that's been happening, and it's just gonna be a beautiful space.
Oh yeah, and then when it's open, send it to me with the opening, and show me a picture of your service menu or whatever. And then
Yes,
it's like blah 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 blah. I love to share it. I go and share it with
you're
everybody.
amazing, Sandra. Thank
We,
you.
we all do that. If we work together, to me,
Yes.
it's about working together. And this is really interesting. The new energies right now is like, because the Aquarian energy, it's not about me. It's about we.
That's
And so
right.
that's where the populist movement and all the movement is coming through. So what's the saying? Birds of a feather will flock together. But the interesting thing, when birds of a feather are flocking together, and if somebody comes into my space and they're trying to pretend they have the same frequency and energy, it don't work, because I see it.
Yeah,
You feel it, and you would do it the
that's right.
same thing, because they're trying to BS you to become a part of what I call the movement. The movement now is, people want to heal. We have had so much trauma, and a lot of times it's not a hurt that people have, but what we've been through. There's so much trauma. There's so much cognitive dissonance. Okay,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
believe that this is the time for healing. And this is very important right now. And I want it, it's really funny. The universe helps me figure it out, because we've just had these retrogrades with Venus and Virgo, but now we're going into the equinox, the spring equinox, and Easter. Now, the interesting thing is, and that's what started that was what started the COVID, like 20 something, whatever, how many years ago, is that particular day. So we have January 1st is our Happy New Year. Then we have the first new moon, as that's our Gong Hu Fa Che, that's the Chinese New Year. Okay. And guess what? The astrological new year, and it's the year of the snake this year. So we're shedding. Okay. But guess what happens on April? Is it April? What is it today?
It's the 8th.
So April 20th, like Easter, springtime, is
Yeah.
we have the beginning of our astrology year. So it's the Aries. Because
Oh, yes.
Aries starts it and it goes all the way through to Pisces. So it's really interesting that you're doing what you're doing with your spa. And a lot of people I know are doing that because it's like we intuitively follow the universal cycles.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're here to make change and support each other, inspire each other, however that looks, right? Billion different people on the planet.
That's right.
We all have our way to help.
And that's why I'm going to put, when I put your hashtags up, it's the inspirational mystic moon holistic healing Lisa. And thank you so much,
Sandra.
Lisa.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody can connect with Lisa. All her information will be there. Just contact her. And so much love and many blessings. And just let me see what I've got to do here. I've got to